What we have left is these three stalking cases. Mr. Russell, where are we on that?
I've met with the petitioner, Ms. Tara Logus. She's present, of course, and I represent all three of the respondents. We're not able to reach an agreement as I don't believe there's a foundation for the request. I think it's contradicted by what might be ulterior motives. So we'll let her go first.
Your name, ma'am?
My name is Tara Logus.
Tell me what this is about.
Yes, sir. I do have a statement prepared for each of these individuals.
Well, what I want to see, first of all, is that the statute requires you to attach to the petition the evidence that you rely on, and you say that you're attaching these computer printouts of the online logs or chats or whatever they were.
That's correct.
Have you got those with you?
Yes, I do.
Because there's absolutely nothing in this petition that suggests threat.
Your Honor, I haven't seen any of those.
Let me see them.
I'd like to see a copy as well.
Of course. And are these meetings that we're talking about, is this a physical meeting or is this some sort of a virtual meeting online?
It's kind of both. We are part of what is loosely termed the Salt Lake Pagan community, which means that there is a group of people who profess a very similar set of spiritual beliefs. It's a very large community, and we have all been part of it for a long time. I do have a very long history with these people, all three of them. Brett and Tamara Gold were my personal friends for several years, and me and my organization did something that they disagreed with, and because of this they started to harass me. They started to be very mean. That's all I could put it. They were, they're emailing everyone. They are emailing me. They started to organize other people to harass me, as well as themselves. They are part of an online group called UAS, or the Utah Alternative Spirituality Substitute. There are about 40 members of this group, and they basically figure out ways that they can make my life miserable. In August, all of this started back in January, February this year. In August of this year, I set up a meeting on a group called Meetup. Part of this group is that you can RSVP to attend an event. I set up a picnic in the park with my children and invited other families to participate. These individuals found out about it. They got a hold of, they came on to this group and they started to come on to this meetup group that I had organized. Of course, since we have a very long and antagonistic history, this to me was something I didn't want, so I started to remove them from my group that I had set up. When I kicked them off, they would come back on. When I kicked them off, they would come back on. And then when they were RSVPing for this event, this is a physical event, they were saying that they were going to be bringing 10 guests each. So in other words, it's not just them, it's their whole mob that is coming with them. I started to feel very physically intimidated that, what's going to happen? I'm going to be
What
in the
threats
park.
have been made?
What's that?
What threats have been made?
Well, Brett, for instance, has stated things like he will not rest until that payment, or I can't remember how it says it in there, but he won't rest until, accountability has been completed. Things like that. So they're supposedly trying to hold me accountable for something that they disagree with me on. And I have been silent with them. I have not engaged with them on any level, and yet they still continue to do this to me.
Well, have they ever crashed a meeting that was at a private place where you had the right to exclude them?
No.
This is not a stalking injunction case.
I actually spoke to a friend of mine who was planning on coming to this meeting. He said that they were planning on an actual physical confrontation with me, and that he was concerned enough that he was going to be there to keep the peace.
Well, what gave rise to that concern? I mean, their mere presence isn't enough.
It's not their presence. It's the completely long history of hostility towards myself and my group.
They're not stalking you. Not as the law defines it.
If
The law doesn't attempt to create an injunction against every form of bad, inconsiderate, or impolite behavior. The purpose of a stalking injunction is to protect your physical safety or to
That's
prevent you
correct.
from severe emotional distress.
This has been absolutely severe emotional distress. I have not been able to sleep.
Well,
I have
I don't
not been
see
able
it.
to work. I have not been able to function with my job. My husband has been very concerned. I mean, this has been extremely emotional, distressing, and damaging. When I obtained these injunctions, I went out into the hall and cried from relief. This has been absolutely a nightmare for me. It has been going on for more than 7 months, and it's absolutely distressing to me and my family. We had to get a security system.
Conflict is always distressing, but
That's correct.
you've shown me no threat to your physical safety.
Would you like to hear this person telling me about how upset and mad these people are and how they're going to come and surround me and have a little meeting with me? That is absolutely distressing to me.
Well,
They don't need to do that. I
I-
can be in the park with my
I would
children, and
not
they don't
have-
need to come in and they
If
don't
these
need to
stalking
come and harass
injunctions
me
had come
about
to
it.
me initially, I would not have signed them. And I am going to dismiss them at this time. It's not
Sir,
alleged
if you
here.
dismiss these, they will increase harassment of me. They will absolutely go for retribution for doing this to them.
Well, if they
And
threaten
I
that,
absolutely have a fear of that. I know that it will happen. They will very much increase this.
it's unfortunate that we can't issue an injunction to prevent hypothetical or speculative future harm. If you've got something concrete in the way of evidence,
I do. It's right there in front of you.
I mean, I've looked through this. I see no threats. I mean, it's clear there's a dispute between the two of you, and there may be even legal remedies for it. But you haven't shown me that they're stalking you.
Sir, I can show you in that evidence where they say that they will not rest until this is taken care of.
Well, if that's what it says, that's not enough.
That is absolutely what it says.
If that's what it says, it's not enough.
That I will be held accountable, and they are the ones that will hold me accountable.
That's not a physical threat. I mean,
So they're allowed to come and harass me in the park in front of my children?
they're allowed to be in a public place. And, there may be other alternatives available to you. There may be other kinds of injunctive relief available to you. But a stalking injunction is a serious thing.
It is a serious thing, and that is why I took this step. And I did not take this step until I was certain that they were actually planning on physical confrontation with me.
Well, you haven't given me evidence that makes me certain that they were planning on physical.
Would you like to hear the conversation that I had with my friend?
Sure, play it.
Can we lay some foundation?
Let's just hear it.
This is between who and who? I'd like to know that.
His name is Kelly.
So it's not with these persons here?
Sorry, let me find it.